Welcome back to the Shipyard. Today we are talking about Chang's Bird of Prey, the Klingon bird of prey from Wave 9, with base stats of 4 attack, 1 agility, 3 hull, 3 shields. Comes in at 22 points, gives you 1 tech, 1 crew, 2 weapons. And the named ability says, if you attack with torpedoes while cloaked, you do not flip your cloak token to its red side. With a 90 forward and 90 rear arc, it actually has the basis to make use of this ability, so that's a good thing. The dial on Chang's Bird of Prey isn't amazing. You get red hard 3 turns, and a red 3 come about. The 2 turns are white. You do get the 6 green moves, the 1 and 2 straight banks. It's okay. It's essentially the Vorcha dial, but for a Bird of Prey, I would rather see 3 hard turns as white, or maybe even 1 hard turns existing. Still, it's out there. The cool thing is that the model is a wings up version, which is nice to have something different. For the generic, of course, we lose the shield, but we also lose a weapon, giving us a generic with a tech slot, which is a huge thing right now. That means you can have a 20-point ship that can cloak and take projected stasis field. Kind of a nice thing. For my money, I think more often than not, I will take the generic here, save those 2 points, because I don't run torpedoes a whole lot. But if I were to run torpedoes, Chang's Bird of Prey would be my first choice for a torpedo boat with a Klingon ship. We get an Admiral in this pack, and that is Admiral Gorkon. It gives you +1 skill modifier, costs you 3 points, no talent slot, and he says, fleet action. Roll 3 defense dice. For each evade result, place 1 evade token beside your ship. You cannot perform an evade action as a free action this round. Well, decent ability. More often than not, you're going to get 1 evade with this. But every so often, you might get 2, you might get 3. And that makes it worth something. The captain version does essentially the same thing, except it's limited to your own ship. For that reason, it's okay. It's skill 4, which is not the best. It's not going to win you games, but it's not going to lose you games. If you really want to play Gorkon because it's thematic, then go for it. If you don't, then don't. We do get 2 other captains in this pack. First up, we get Kurla, skill 3, 2 points. Each time you defend during the roll defense dice step of the combat phase, you may choose to roll 2 less defense dice to add 1 evade to your roll. I like this. I think a lot of times while cloaked, you know what you're up against, and more often than not, 2 defense dice will yield maybe 1 evade, maybe none. Very rarely will it give you 2. So taking 2 less dice will net a positive result if you do the experiment over and over and over again. So Kurla is a good thing. Is he 2 points good? Probably not. But is he really going to hurt you? No, I don't think so. Where I like him the best is Officer Exchange Program, Klingon Romulan, put him on a Romulan ship. The other captain we get is Chang, skill 7, with a talent slot, 4 points. During the activation phase, if your ship is cloaked, before you move, you may perform an additional sensor echo action with a 1 straight, as a free action. If you do so, you may still do a sensor echo action. Now, Chang was okay, because an extra sensor echo action is cool. Klingons don't tend to spend a lot of rounds cloaked, but every so often it comes into play. However, with the Ning Tao that came out in Wave 15 or 16, Chang became amazing, because the Ning Tao lets you flip around after you do a sensor echo. And that is really cool. So Chang is an example of a captain that was neat when he came out, but with a future release, he got even better. So it just goes to show you that if you wait a little bit, a lot of times things get even better. For our first elite talent, we have Cry Havoc. It's a 5-point talent and says, action. If you are cloaked, discard this card to remove your cloak token and flip all of your shields back to their active sides. You are no longer considered to be cloaked. During the roll attack dice step of the combat phase, gain +2 attack dice this round. You cannot roll defense dice, and you can only buy this for a Klingon captain. Well, I'm only going to do this if I know that I'm not going to get shot at, and that is very rare. I might use this on a ship that is in a fleet with core, where core is drawing fire. The extra 2 attack dice is nice, don't get me wrong, especially if you couple it with the Chang or a Martok 9 Gowron Klingon flagship fleet where you can buff up the attack a lot, or even a Barrage of Fire fleet. However, this is not a great talent, just like every other Klingon talent. Still, I think Cry Havoc has a place if you can combine it with that old core fleet, and you can time it just right. This is a talent all about timing, and it is not just, oh, I'll use it because I want to. You gotta pick your moment. The other talent is The Game's Afoot. Costs 4 points, and says, if you initiate an attack while cloaked against a ship that does not have your ship in its forward or rear firing arcs, during the roll attack dice step, you may discard this card to gain an attack die. If you do this, after completing your attack, you may immediately perform a Sensor Echo action as a free action. 4 points to maybe get an extra attack die and a Sensor Echo, it's okay, but realistically, if you're already aside them, then why would you want to Sensor Echo? Unless it's to set you up for the next turn. I don't really like this talent, but getting an extra attack die is nice. The only reason to take this is because you're really concerned about movement, and you really, really want to be able to shift and have positioning on them for the next turn. Outside of that, leave this one alone. Our crew is Azitber. Sorry about the name. My Klingon is not what it should be. She costs 5 points and says, action, discard this card to target a ship at range 1 to 3. Disable your captain and the captain on the target ship. Neither of your ships may attack each other this round. Well, that's a thing. It's nice to make people shoot somebody else, but the thing is that they can still shoot somebody else. I guess if you're the only ship that someone can shoot, this hurt, but you're denying them one attack. It's probably not going to make that big of a difference. Either way, she is too pricey at 5 points. I want to find a use for her, because I think that there's something to these, you can't shoot me, I can't shoot you, but we can shoot other people, but I haven't quite figured it out yet. And I don't think anybody else has figured it out. If you have, let me know. I'd love to hear about it. Moving on, we get photon torpedoes in this pack. We actually get 2 copies of them, but they're very standard photon torpedoes. Our tech is the prototype cloaking device. And what that says is when attacking while cloaked, you may disable this card before rolling any attack dice to keep your cloak token from flipping to its red side. Okay, that's pretty standard. If you do this during the modify attack dice step, you may place an auxiliary power token beside your ship to choose any number of your attack dice and re-roll them. This upgrade may only be purchased for a Klingon bird of prey, meaning Chang's bird of prey or the generic. Okay, I like it. Disable a card to keep your cloak, place an aux power to get a free target lock. That's a win-win. Yeah, it's a little bit of an action economy hog, but I'm okay with it. It's 6 points, so it's pricey, but overall, I still think it's very useful, especially in mission play. Probably not so much in tournaments, but in missions where you need to do certain objectives and you maybe have some time, then this is great. And that's what's in this pack. So overall, Chang's Bird of Prey. Very interesting. Named ability has some potential if you want to go with photon torpedoes. Captains, admirals, playable, enjoyable, offer some different things, and that's a useful twist on the game. The talents are above average Klingon talents. Are they amazing, game-changing? No, not at all. But I think they offer something. A lot of this pack helps you out in the missions, and I'm okay with that. Like, this isn't a pack that revolutionizes tournament play. But not every pack has to do that. This is a pack that will change your casual games, and it gives you something different to mess around with. And that's really cool to me. So, if you're looking for a more enjoyable experience at the kitchen table, at your friendly meetups, at the game store, then pick this pack up. If you're looking for a cool captain that can go in your tournament list, get this pack for Chang, and maybe even for Kurla. And if you just want a neat model, get this, because the Wings Up Bird of Prey looks really, really good. So on that note, I'm going to end it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, we'll see you around the shipyard. Take care.